It's weird too that there's a fly in here. I must have left the window open or something.
Freaking jerk. Ugh. Jeez,
They just make it a thing.
Yeah, it'll be.
All right, we got it.
I'll like, do like a freeze frame, like.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
Don't mind the listener.
Seriously, fly on the wall.
Welcome back to The How. If this is your first time here, I make videos to help people find a satisfying career or side hustle because I had a hard time finding a career myself and I want to give back. Today we're going to learn from an actual rock star. He's a lot more modest and doesn't like to accept that title of rock star, but you can decide. So let's jump right into it and learn how.
Johnny T here. I am a music creator and sound designer. I've been doing that for as long as I can remember, but professionally for about 5 to 6 years. Let's see. When, why, and how I started to pursue music was when I was in college. We actually were doing our thing together, and I was studying Spanish education, and that wasn't floating for me. And then I changed my major to something just very general business because I felt like I had that entrepreneur spirit, but didn't really know like what idea I would pursue in the end. And I got like one semester into that and decided it wasn't for me as well. I ended up taking a semester off and just making music the whole semester. Like I didn't work, I didn't go to school, I didn't do anything. And I just pretty much locked myself in my room and made music. And that was when I was like realizing, holy crap, I gotta do this, you know? I had that kind of gut feeling for a while, but like actually like facing that was kind of a scary thing for me. It wasn't until I discovered like how recording or like the actual just like audio side of music could financially support me that I like started to entertain it. And so that's what I ended up majoring in, is audio engineering or audio production at UVU. I would just spend hours outside of class just like YouTubing stuff, researching like what I wanted to do and like how to do it and like how to get the best sound possible for my songs and that kind of a thing. And so that took me down the path of like joining up with my band Foreign Figures and everything like that. Like, long story short, that's what I'm still doing, is making music in a band for a living. So yeah, it's great. Like, how many hours do I invest in what I'm doing work-wise? I couldn't even count. Like, I just don't even think about it. I take it day by day. It's like whatever my body is feeling or whatever I feel like I need that day, then I do that thing. It's very like off the cuff, but kind of has its like, that's my plan. I plan to be off the cuff. And so yeah, if I show up here at like 10-ish, then I'll be here till, you know, who knows, 10 at night or later. It just depends on what I've got going on, because I find that I'm so passionate. It sounds stupid. I'm so passionate about what it is that I love. Ironic, right? That I just don't, I find myself like needing to consciously take breaks to eat, to go to the gym, to like say, okay, it's time to go to bed, like, or whatever. And fortunately, like, I have a girlfriend who's very understanding of like what it looks like to have somebody who's extremely passionate about what they do. So that balance is fine. Yeah, so anyway, it's just like, it works for me, but it's definitely not your average 9 to 5, come home by, you know, you're home by 6 or whatever, and you've got your evening with your family. It's like, I can do whatever I want, the sky's the limit, but that's what works for me right now. There's peak seasons for different things. So we get booked out frequently during like the hot season, which it's hot for really just any time. Festivals, like city events, everything, like it's super busy. We'll travel all over the place, just depending on who wants to pay us what, and it's fun for us because it's like a bidding war. So you can bet your butt on 4th of July we'll be booked out. And then other just random places, like if Idaho has a day, or Nevada or Wyoming, or, you know, whatever, like just regionally, people will reach out. Christmas or, you know, Thanksgiving, not so much. We'll do Christmas events, but on the actual day itself, nobody's got anything going on. New Year's will likely be booked out, just New Year's events. So yeah, it just depends on the holiday, but usually we're working. It sounds like. I don't think about it because honestly, I just have the most fun time in the world putting on a show for people. It's a really fun thing for me.
When I think of a holiday, I want to go do something fun, but that's literally what you do for work.
Yeah, I have fun. If you have an aha moment, like an idea that just is like, it zings your brain, you know what it feels like. I feel like everybody has these aha moments in different ways, but like if it has to do with music, which is my realm of things, and it can like venture out. That's why I just say I'm a creative just generally, because it's like a piece of art could inspire me, or like a freaking movie or whatever. Like it's all creative, it's all art though. If you have like that lightning bolt idea, like pursue it. Do anything you can to get that idea out and come to pass in the best way possible. I know people connect with that. Like that's literally how I have this studio, or how I can make money performing or whatever, is because at one point in my life I said, aha, like I had this realization, it felt great, and I pursued it. I had the cojones enough to pursue it, because that's the thing, is usually the aha moment will be negated like pretty soon after. Your logical brain starts to kick in. You say, that's stupid, or that would take a lot of money, a lot of effort. I actually don't know how to do that. Don't know anyone who can help me. Like all these logical ideas start to kick in, and then you put the idea on the shelf. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that. No more. So anytime I have an aha moment, I work my hardest to pursue it, even if it's something completely out of my comfort zone, because I know that those things, like, those are the things. It just depends on the path you want to take. If you want to sing, just sing. Don't go to school. Don't do that. Like, you're going to spend so much money on your college education to get your music performance degree. Don't do that. Like, take out a personal loan if you want to for the exact same amount that you would go to school for, and invest in the things that matter, which if you want to sing, get vocal lessons, find a band, make a small little recording space for yourself, because you can do it so cheaply nowadays, and kill it on the internet, or go play some gigs or something like that. Just go do it. Like, if you want to start a podcast, just go start a podcast. Like, you can find any information you want to on the internet nowadays. Like, you don't gotta pay thousands of dollars for this old method of getting educated. It may be unpopular, but like, that's what I would say. If you want something more technical, you do have to go to school. So like myself, I got like a technical degree, audio engineering. And so with that, like, congratulations, I graduated. I can go get a number of jobs now. It just depends on what you want to do, because like, sky's the limit if you want to be a self-starter. And like with music, and I would say with film, with painting, with any form of digital media, you could absolutely go to school. But my advice would be to not, and just get kicking at what you want to do. Just do it. Freaking do it. You will learn so much more by taking on free projects and like having your friend over and like giving you critiques. You'll learn so much more by doing it that way, in my opinion. So my experience is an independent artist. I'm not signed to a record label. I have any money I make is 100% mine. Granted, I have to split it between my business and 3 other guys that I'm making music with, but any money that I make isn't being cut short by, a business that's taking that from me. Being a musician in a band, that you rely really heavily financially on concerts. It's a big money maker. And a lot of people would just be like, well, just blow up on the internet and like, you can make your money streaming or whatever. Truth of the matter is that streaming is not very lucrative. It equates for about 10% of any independent artist income. And everything else is from booking. So that could be your booking fee, ticket sales, merchandise sold, anything that revolves around that live show. When it comes to like events, for example, foreign figures, like minimum booking fee right now as just a regional independent artist is about $7,500. I would say is like the average. We'll do charity events for less. We'll do full-blown concerts for less if it's a good opportunity for us. But Like for us to meet our needs and that kind of a thing and keep things going, keep the lights on, keep having fun, we need pretty much that for like our concerts, sometimes more, sometimes less. But that's kind of like the median, I'd say. An average pay month for us, about $2,500, I would say, each month. So it's not very lucrative. In the end, I'm getting, you know, just under 30K a year. 30K is not that much, but it hasn't even been that much when we've been growing. Like for the example, the first 2 years, we've been a band for 5 years. The first 2 years we were a band, we didn't pay ourselves anything. So we took literally any gig we could and played weddings, like anything to get money. And we would invest that money back into like our gear or, you know, studio stuff or whatever, and just started building things out that way, like building a business rather than like giving ourselves the quick paycheck. And investing in ourselves that way has been a really strong thing for us, turns out. None of us are like really savvy business guys, but we know that, you know, whatever money we pay ourselves, it's dust in the wind. You know, it's food, it's gas, it's rent, it's whatever, like it just goes out. But if I can reinvest back into the business and say, this is going to help me make more money long term, you know, I am going to make more money long term. So hasn't always been where it's at. It's been less, but I also know that it's not that lucrative right now. So that's about where we're sitting. The two things I enjoy most are concerts and the creative process. Hands down, the most fun is when you have this like aha moment that feels so fun and you get to chase that in the studio, and it's like you get to like see it come about. It's like seeing a kid grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like you just see this like infant in all its potential, but it can't like talk or walk or whatever. And then like all of a sudden like this song like comes out and it's like, it's awesome. It's really cool. And like you knew it all along, it just needed some help. Like that's my favorite thing. And then concerts, like you just can't beat it. I feel like everybody feels that. If you're not a concert goer, like it's because you haven't been to a concert. You know what I'm saying? Like there is something electric about the energy, and it doesn't matter who you go see or who you're into. Like the atmosphere is just, it can't be beat. Like I don't know of anything that feels that way so consistently. So that for me to be able to like, I mean, not only be a part of it, but to be like the reason for that, it's really cool.
It's the truth. I could go see Polka live and I'm like, I'm actually a Polka fan.
Right. This is why we love like street musicians and that kind of a thing too. No one's ever gonna care at all to listen to that in their car.
Yeah.
Never. And as soon as you're done with your vacation, you'll forget about it. But you saw that street performer and they entertained you, and there was something electric about the energy that was happening. And like, you stayed for a second. You probably tipped them a little bit. Like, these are the things that live music does to us, that like, as soon as you turn it on in your car and you're back to reality and dopamine's low, it's like, why was I ever into this? You know? But there, at that experience, it is unbeatable. Let's see, forecasting. Like planning future goals and that kind of thing it's just dependent on how things go. Setting the road ahead, like saying, how much money am I going to make in December? Well, I don't really know because bookings haven't started to come in. Like, I don't know how my songs will be doing then. And that can be a really tough thing for a lot of people. So for me, it's like, I'm doing the thing that I love, and yeah, I have those risks, but like, I'm willing to take those because, again, I'm doing this thing that like brings me a lot of fulfillment. So I would say that's the toughest thing, but to me, I'm going to have that con anywhere I go. So it just depends on how you want to look at it though, because it's like, this company's been in business for X number of years. They're really stable, really good. They can give me my life that I want, financially speaking. But next thing you know, like, the industry tanks or something, like something happens. It just does. So it's like, just do the thing you love. You just do it. You'll be better at it. You just will. For sure an incline. And the reason why I say is because I read recently about concerts and their trajectory for the future. And basically, like, where it projected concert attendance for the next 10 years is it's just steadily increasing. But like more than anything, this kind of goes back to what I was saying, where's the future and that kind of a thing. Can't really be mapped out, but what I can map out is how confident I am in my abilities and how hard I'm willing to work. And like that to me is success. Like no matter what, this ship is not going down. Like I will not let it go down. And that's the kind of attitude I feel like you need in order to make it in an industry that's not going to give you that sense of security. Kind of the home stretch of a song, the final touches. The idea is out, you went through all of that hard work, like it's all out, and like you can almost kind of like relish in the joy of like having done your hard work out, but like it's still not out to the public yet. Nobody's heard it, nobody's given you their opinion, nobody's like said, such great things that you're doing, or I hate that thing that you just did. Like nobody's giving you that feedback yet. It's just you and the art, and like it feels very like fulfilling and whole to me. And then also like I would say after having played a concert, like there's a very similar emotion that I experienced where it's like I gave everything that I had to that performance, like emotionally, spiritually, mentally, like physically. I was just in that moment giving to the people that were there, and that to me is like an incomparable feeling. I don't know how else to get that feeling. Somebody who doesn't listen to the rules, like somebody who doesn't listen to what people say, and like it's not in an arrogant way or a naive way. You can pay attention to things that people say but not take it as gospel. Someone hated this thing that you did, someone loved this thing that you did. Like any sort of feedback is just feedback. Put it on your bookshelf of things people said. It is a dog eat dog in the creative industry, and you have to find ways to just cut through the noise, to be louder than everyone else. And so you have to say, like, this is why you should come over here to my arena and pay attention to what it is that I'm doing, even though there's hundreds of thousands of artists that you could be listening to right now. You choose to be right here. You have to have that tenacity, just like it's a fight, you know? You really do have to work for it, but then also have that like docile, like gentle, I'm making art, you know what I'm saying? So it's really kind of a catch-22, but I think those are mandatory requisites for anybody who's going to be in the trenches creating the art, and then also hoping that it gets to reach people. If you're with yourself, you know, as a solo artist or whatever it is that you're doing, you better have that zeal of just like, I'm going for it no matter what. And if you're with a group, it's a little bit easier because you can kind of like pick yourself up as you go, and if somebody's like having a rough time, like hopefully the rest of everyone isn't as well. So. This is like my own personal, like what made me a better creator is getting my mental self in check. So the reason why I say that is because like depression, anxiety, stresses of life, they're very real for me. And to the point where like I've had to take medication and that kind of a thing. I'm not currently, because I feel like I have it managed. This is one of the things that I feel like I've learned, but the way that I feel like I manage that is creating a balance for myself. And like I said earlier, that's a tough thing for a creative to do, is to find balance, because you're so caught up in an idea, helping it come to pass, and it's like if anything breaks that focus you have on this idea, then it's almost like it goes away, that spark. And so you have to like find this really delicate balance of for me, incorporating some semblance of like spirituality into my day, meditation or pondering or whatever, you know, like getting out of the physical, what my eyes are seeing, and you know, oh, I got this bill or whatever, you know, like the stresses of life. Getting out of that for a moment is really helpful. Physical exercise, creating that balance has been a really healthy thing for like mental stability for me, and that has paid massive dividends in what I feel like is my creative potential. If you're interested in being a musician and like just making beats or singing on songs or whatever it is, like, go do it. Like, nobody is stopping you but you. You think that you need to like get more education or learn more about it or talk to so-and-so who's been doing it for so long. Like, no. Just go give yourself to it, go fall on your face, go screw up and get all sorts of cuts and bruises. Like, that's literally how you're gonna make it. It's that tenacity that I was talking about. Like, if you're sitting around waiting for somebody to tell you like that you've done a good job or that you have a good thing going, like, or how something is supposed to be done technically or properly or whatever, like, I'm sorry, you've already lost the race, because there are thousands of people out there right now who want the exact same thing you want. You just have to want it more. Like, literally Charlie in the Chocolate Factory scenario. Like, the only reason why this kid found a golden ticket at all, the last one, because he willed it into existence. Like, he opened up 3 chocolate bars. You know what I'm saying? Or 2, I don't know how many. Like, he had no chance in the world. But like, he did, because he wanted it more. Like, straight up. And like, that to me is literally all you need to succeed. And granted, this is coming from somebody who like hasn't quote unquote made it, but in a sense I feel like I have. Like, I've created out of thin air financial stability and like, I don't know, just like this sense of security for myself out of art. I know that anybody else, like, there's room for everybody. Like, there's room for everybody to do their passion if you just straight up do your passion. Go buy a microphone or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, just go try. And it's that tenacity that I think will take you places. Just like, go put yourself in that space and make it happen. At the end of the day, just freaking pick yourself up and go do it. Save up your $300, $500 to go buy yourself a microphone and an interface and like go connect it to your laptop and make it happen. You have great stuff inside of you, you just got to get it out, and that's how we get it out nowadays.
What is something that you think is like popular now, but in 5 years people will look back?
Like anything?
Yeah.
Solar. Just kidding. Let's see. I'll say Champion. The brand Champion. I think Champion got a huge kick from freaking Marshmallow or whoever, I don't even know. But Champion is freaking, it's the new Nike. And I think that's going to change within the next 5 years. It's a random one, but brand changes. There's one, I forget the name of it, but it has like, it might even be called Gremlins. Something like that, but straight up, I remember one scene out of it. This is like my first horror, whatever. It's not even a scary movie probably, but these little things, like they look like little gremlins that are like fuzzy and gross, and like they were in a baby's crib. And like, I don't even remember any context at all, but straight up to this day, I'm like, I can't go near that. I don't know, PTSD or something. I just don't know that I could. I feel that everything is kind of like an ecosystem in music. And I feel like if I take out the spiders from the music, it's like it's all gonna come crumbling down, even though spiders are gross. So that's my cop-out answer. I don't know that I could really eliminate anything because I just feel like it all feeds off each other.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that video was helpful. If it was, consider sharing this video with other people that you think could benefit. Also, there's a second video that you can check out if you want to know what it's like to be signed with a record label, or at least what to expect. Johnny dived into a lot more details on that video explaining what it's like to be signed with a record label, but probably pertains to a more selective audience. Johnny is an amazing person. I walked away from that interview feeling like I was on fire. Not only was he super insightful about what it takes to follow your passion as an artist, but he's also the creator of this. Go and check him out on his Instagram account that you can see here, as well as his band that you can see here. Here you can see Johnny's personality type, and if you go onto 16personalities.com and read about this personality type, you can learn a little bit more about what it takes to become a successful artist. If you haven't already taken the personality quiz, make sure to do so. It will give you tons of excellent insight into who you are and to help you identify what career could be a good match for you. Make sure to subscribe to follow along with the latest videos on hobbies, opportunities, work, and how to find the right career fit for you.